Hello, hello. I just finished Pleccia, I think, because what this guide popped up. So I think that's it. And same thing as last time. Two other characters were power passed, so I haven't done this part yet. So I did it on this one. And just as a uh, preamble, I was I just want to get to paradise, man. I just want to get to paradise. But there's this one, and there's I gotta get through apparently through all this, and then I gotta get through, some curse and stuff, and then I have to get to the path that is the blazing flames of war, and I have to do that, and that's when I get paradise, so it's like a ways away. So the reason I'm mentioning it is that it obviously puts kind of a puts its mark on the experience. Like it's different when you just take your time and you just chill and go through it. But yeah, let's talk a bit about the actual story here. First of all, I skipped all I skipped wherever I could, like when the same thing as last time. When I could, shift G. Most of the time I shift G'd. Like there were a few times that it was like very, story involved part. It was like, especially towards the end when it's like between cutscenes where it's quite emotional and whatnot. But yeah, Sacria again. This whole, Twilight Order and Dawn Order, and like Dawn is very, very nice and good, and everything is, sunshine and puppies and whatnot, and then Twilight is bad, bad, bad. Twilight is doing the bad stuff every time, but then it's like, oh no, but like Sakria, there's also the good guys in there, so it's kind of okay, but not really. But then every I don't know, it's a bit tiresome to me. It's just I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it actually leads somewhere. It's not like it hasn't led anywhere up till now. It's just that it feels like there's I don't really believe that we're just gonna ever deal with the Twilight side of it, and like you could say that that's the realistic part, because as long as there are people, there's always gonna be, I guess, bad people as well. But I don't know, it's just a bit too convenient sometimes. How it's like that doesn't I don't know. Mm, I'm just I couldn't get that much into it, which is, I guess, part of the reason why I shift G'd a lot of times, because it was like, oh yeah, they are doing terrible, awful, morally reprehensible stuff again. At least they didn't do this. At least when we had to sneak around and have to be stealthed, at least it wasn't the same as back in Phaeton. That was some truly awful stuff. Obviously, I don't mean it just in the awful that what they did, but also awful the gameplay experience. You got noticed, and then it was done. You could do it again. That was very fun to do it on all my characters. So at least it's not that bad now. But yeah, obviously we figured we've learned about Armin stuff, about Claudia, about his mother, which is like obviously mother in the sense that she raised him up like a mother would, but obviously uh, we don't know everything about Armen's origins, or I don't know. I've seen other people talk about, obviously, that they don't really that we don't really know who like the actual parents were, but I'm not even sure if it's like that important anyway. So yeah, I think we've learned about the basically the only parent that matters or that counts, Claudia. Although it's also interesting to see when uh Gustav, and I think the name is right, the big boss over there, who seems to actually be good. It was kind of impressive. He just arrived and just one shot everyone. That was impressive for sure. Obviously, it was just a bit too late, which is obviously it's not. It's a classic thing, right? Like, it's just story would not be the same if it was just, oh, he actually got there in time. Then obviously it would be quite a different story. Although you never know, right? Like, they might get saved this time. Who knows about the next time? Unless they, like, always stick together. I don't know. I was also thinking about why it's that important to be with people, or like why are they, if they keep getting chased away from everywhere, like why are they not just going out into the woods or something. Like, you could say, I guess, that maybe Claudia wanted Armin to have actual friends, or at least try to have friends of his own age. Obviously didn't quite work out all that well, but you know but I was thinking, why they don't just go out into the wilderness somewhere, when Claudia is such an accomplished magic user anyway. I don't know, maybe I shift G over it, maybe. So, like, it's always a bit weird when you try to have a verdict on a story, when there are some text that you shift G over. But you could, like, on one hand you could say that maybe me on one part it's the player's fault for skipping over it, but at the same time you could also say that, okay, maybe you can put the important part into the parts where you can't shift G over it, and then the rest is just like extra flavor that goes there. But yeah, like, once you start thinking into it deeper, then it's probably a lot more important to not skip over text. So yeah, like, maybe the what I was thinking about, maybe it was just described in the text anyway, and obviously that makes it different. But yeah, obviously very sad. But yeah, and then like, we chase Armin the whole time, and then Armin, yeah, hi. Oh, so it's nope, in pieces out. Like, okay, I don't. Like the part when the guy with the hood. There's a cord somewhere where not Veracruz, not Veraganos. I you know the guy. talking about, some, kinda cryptic nonsense. I don't know. I like on one hand you can definitely say that maybe Arm is not talking about stuff even if he did, it wouldn't matter, or maybe it would just make things worse. Uh, I don't know. If Arman wants to peace out, and we let them peace out. Obviously, it's different because you know some parts. Obviously, I already know because I was uh doing the quest from. I think it's the start of the North Curzon when you get to start playing the game when you power passed over it. I think that's the part when like those that part I already experienced. So I'm like connecting into that as I go along with the quests here. And I'm gonna be honest here, like I'm not looking to I'm not really looking forward to Wall this all that much, for the same reason as I said earlier, that I just want the character to get to paradise, and that so like everything is just getting there. It's kind of a pain, even if otherwise the story would be neat. I don't know, because like it would be so swell if I could just skip over it and just get to paradise without having to progress through all the continents. And I don't care about the lore. I don't care how you make that make sense. I don't care. Just give me access to paradise, and then whenever I get to going through the continents, or when I want the roster XP or card XP or card packs or something that you get through the progress, then I'll do it. And then obviously I won't feel as hurried then. But then maybe then I would just never do it. I don't know. It's not that I'm not interested in the story. I think I am. I'm even more interested than average. I guess I can like confidently say that if you take the entire player base, I think I'm more interested in the story than average. Even if I end up skipping over some dialogue in the quest, but I didn't skip any of the cutscenes, so I can still know for the most part what's going on. So yeah, I didn't really go through methodically as I was trying to talk about it in the past. I don't know how many minutes. But yeah, Armen, backstory. I don't honestly. It's like the whole art stuff. I don't really care. The whole Sacria, Twilight doing bad stuff again. I don't really care because it's not like we can actually do anything. It's just if if the next continent, or maybe like next time and the next time and the next time, if they swag recycles the same sacred stuff again, like, what can I do about it? Nothing. Which is like I don't really feel it's like okay, now we're doing something about this, because it's just it at the end of the day it's gonna be all just deep sighs and just shrugged shoulders, like, oh well, what can you do about it? There's some bad ones, there's some good ones. It is what it is. And then we're just fighting against Kazaros, because I guess that's like the only thing that's actually straightforwardly bad enough for for everyone to get up in arms about it. Okay, unless it's not something that is planning and uh, exacting total annihilation, then it's like, well, what can you do? What can you do? Life is complicated. I don't know. And I'm like, I know, I get it, I get that it might not it's probably not very realistic that you say like, oh yeah, we're just gonna grab all the Twilight Order and just root them out, and then they're gone, and then it's never gonna be a problem again. Obviously, that is not very realistic. I know, but then as I play the game and I'm thinking, okay, maybe there are different stories that I would like to explore, which is probably what's gonna happen in Valdis. Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously the world is only so big, so like Sacred is gonna be in everything. I don't know. It's just you start out the game, and then they give like the whole Lost Twin Cliff at like the basically the beginning. And it gives a very strong Sacria is awful, absolutely awful notes, and then like, okay, yeah, maybe there are some good people here and there, but overall, I yeah, I don't really see how it's like, okay, we did that and then we do it again like for like 3 or 4 times, and regardless of how realistic that is, I'm just over it. I'm just over it. I know that at the end it's basically just, it boils down to, once it's actually against the big bad, like and also as we're like leading up into actual Kazuros stuff. Obviously there are already the seeds of the next potential story beats. Like obviously with what Carmine is plotting and planning and all that stuff. And I know that I have the option of going ahead and spoiling myself about some lore stuff, but I didn't do it just yet. Yeah. It's just interesting how I'm like connecting forwards to the North Curzon stuff, and the Rimeria, and then whatever comes next. I guess we don't really know about any next continent or whatnot. So yeah, it was it was neat, I guess. But like I said, like there's quite big themes that I don't really care about, but I don't really feel as invested in it when it's variations of the same theme, the old sacred stuff. I don't know. It's just generally speaking. Obviously, we've known, we found out, but Regulus is pretty stinky overall. Like Procyon was doing good stuff. Maybe there's some other gods that are actually doing okay things as well. But I don't know. It's just I've been hearing so much Regulus this, Regulus that. I'm just sick of it. I can't I can't do it. So yeah, it obviously was very nice that we got to hang out with Tyrion and go together down on basically Armen's memory lane. Even though obviously memories are really bittersweet. I mean, obviously, mostly bitter, but obviously, I still want to say bittersweet, but because they're uh, still the nice part, when Armen is hanging out with Claudia at home, and when you press R, and then the R the ability, I guess, is named Puiz. Puiz, when Armen's reaching out to his mother Claudia, asking for a hug or hugging, and then obviously you use the same ability later when Claudia is under the tree, dead. So obviously that part is definitely better. But yeah, I don't know. Like in some ways, it felt longer than it was because the aforementioned themes that I didn't care too much about, and just wanting to get to paradise as soon as possible. But at the same time, I didn't want to skip the cutscenes, and obviously still interested in like overall arm and stuff. So I also can't say that it was like all that long, because if you actually time it, just the purely getting through it, then it's obviously not long. Like it doesn't have like a whole adventure tone page or anything either. Just a small island stuff, which is also why I'm so worried that I see right when it was over with the cutscenes and then you know talking a little bit with Tyrene, and then Armin peaced that obviously, and then Tyrene had to go home as well because he's a king. He's the king of Lutera, so has to go back and do king stuff probably, and other stuff, and then boom, that was it. And also like the whole the place, obviously now that we actually see what this place is, like how it like actually happened here. Like here's the tree, and then he's so like obviously we definitely get the significance of the place, aside from like obviously we knew that the grave was here, but why was the grave here, like what happened exactly here, that is what became known as we play through the story of Pleccia. But like I said, it did lose a bit of strength, uh, because I've been coming here every day for like 20 days already to do the daily thingy. When you pray at Claudia's grave, and then once you do it 100 times, like this for 100 days, then you get like a music box. Like you get a track basically into your music box, and yeah. So like when we came here and yeah, you click the play, and then it obviously didn't have the same strength when I've been doing it for 20 days. But yeah, obviously that's different. And probably would have hit harder if I didn't or if I wasn't doing the quest already. Cause like I didn't even like search for it or anything, right? Like one time I came this way, and then I see that there's a quest, and I click on it, and then I see that there's a 1 out of, or like 0 out of 100, and like I already know that, well, I'm gonna have to come here and do this for 100 days, which is a lot. Like I'm not even necessarily talking about like gameplay applications or anything, or just in general, just 100 days of your life. But I guess 20 already went by so fast. So yeah, I don't know. And there's also the achievement that that goes up to like 1,000 login days in a row, which is again that's a lot. And I don't know, it's probably not something that you really need to think about, or like if you miss a day, then you miss a day. I don't think that's reasonable to actually go for it, or like actually I log in just because you want to keep the streak. Because also chances are like once you're not fully logging in daily anyway, then you're probably gonna forget about it Yeah, but it was a bit annoying because I was just considering how many days I actually logged in every day uh, since pretty much the launch. But then obviously I stopped logging in every day, and then I slowly distanced myself. And if I think about it, even the days that I actually logged in straight for X amount of time, they were not even close to 1,000 days. So yeah, sorry I got off track quite a bit. It's just this place, I is connected to the quest, or like the quest is connected to the place and the story, and that's why how I have a 1,000 day in login in a row achievement came up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. I don't know what I was thinking. I knew that this is still ahead of me, but yeah, I wanna get. So like the reason why I'm sighing so much, and I think I'm gonna wrap it up. The reason why I'm sighing so much is that uh ideally I would want to do it with this one, and then ideally I uh own this one up as well, and then I would have to go through this one with this one as well. But this one didn't even do Rowan. It has to do Rowan, and then has to do a geisha, and then it has to do Pleccia, and then it has to do Valdis, and then it has to do South Curzon. And then I think it's like from when you go from South Curzon to North Curzon, I think that's where Blazing Flames of War is somewhere along the line. So like in a week, like obviously it's not doable. Obviously it's doable. It's just not necessarily something that I will enjoy doing. But I've already wasted so many weeks not having at least these two up in paradise level. And also it's kind of embarrassing that I've basically been playing using all the tickets, playing trying bunch of tries on the Crucible. But then the end result is that I'm still not even like top 30, where you would actually have the small change in the hell keys. It's like one of them is, I think it's purple instead of blue. I think that's the change. But I mean, I do my weeklies, and I think I lost power. I lost combat power because like you run your Lycian stuff, and then you get a few of the upgrade thingies, the restoration stone or whatever, and then you use them, and then nothing upgrades, and then there's a resonance. So like you're thinking, okay, you use the resonance and you try to push that, and then everything just goes backwards, and then you just lose combat power. So I don't really know. I don't really know. But now I'm rambling. Now it's not relevant to Pleccia. So yeah, got some backstory, got some more sacred stuff. Armen pieced out. Go next. Go Valdis. This is more like a smaller thing, low relevant, but at the same time, it's not like an entire new continent like Valdis. So yeah, and obviously we got some stuff into the curse and stuff, and there's a Gemet that who we found in that basement, or like in that prison or whatever that they had going there. And then obviously we know that because obviously I already finished all the rapport. It's like South Course, and yeah, Gemet, however you pronounce it, I don't know. So yeah, it's definitely quite weird that I'm just now going through all these stories, but I had all the rapport completed. with also, you know, quests. So I guess I've spoiled myself in many ways. But at the same time, it's not like it's any big spoiler anyway. All right. So yeah, that's I guess that's basically what I did today. Or I guess technically yesterday. Yeah. My health stuff on main was absolutely terrible. I think it's not too bad, I guess. I advanced honed my pants, I think, a little bit. Number went up a bit. I messed up earlier. I didn't do enough, you know, group stuff for Mokoko token. So I think I won't have enough to get the two. Like I know like this is the, you know, big one. The card selection pack is pretty nice and pretty important overall. It was like very easy to achieve, but I've barely done any group stuff. So yeah, I mean I can get one, and then I probably just try to hone to 1690. Say goodbye to my Mokoko status, and yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, this is like the XP that people were talking about. There's like 9, it's 18, and then there's another 7.5, and there's another 3000, which I will not. Okay, and there's also under 18 here. Supposedly that adds like either like 60 on the first, or like in maybe it's like I've seen something like 90,000 XP on like first one, or 60 on all the run throughs, all the playthroughs for Pleccia. So it's like another reason to actually do it and not transfer over it, because like technically I could, you know, transfer over it. Although I don't. Wait, actually, maybe not. I don't know how it works with Power Pass. Because if you have two characters that you Power Passed to the start of North Curzan, but then you did North Curzan and Rimeria, then I guess you might be able to, you know, like knowledge transfer up. But I guess it doesn't really make sense to knowledge transfer further up than it would be anyway. And I guess you can't even do it. But here you can see the 9,000, 9,000, 3,000, 7.5, and 18. And then maybe I used like a 1 or 2 when I got it, and I didn't save it all up. So like this might not be all of it. But yeah, that's like kind of the plan. Like I said, get these two up so they can actually start finally do Paradise. And then I guess, I don't know, these two. As you can see, I did hone even this one a little bit. And like if it only costs silver and the mats that you already have, then not that big of a deal. Kinda want this one up to like 75. But honestly, it's kind of whatever. At the moment, I'm still at the point where it's like these 4 are the ones that I'm like actually playing or actually want to play. And obviously, main is the most important. Okay, now I'm done for real. I'm done for real. All right. Thank you very much. Bye bye.